doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you. This cat thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat, and ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
From foundations to homes to skyscrapers, sketches to superhighways, come meet the people raising the bar in construction at the first ever Uganda Construction and Infrastructure Forum and Exhibition. Genuine contractors, architects, engineers, surveyors, financiers, suppliers, manufacturers, and policy makers under one umbrella for all your construction needs. For 4 days of thought-provoking discussions, exhibitions, and networking. Don't miss the enigmatic Professor P.L. Olumumba, our keynote speaker, from the 14th to the 17th of December at Kololo Independence Grounds. Visit www.unapsec.co.ug. For sponsorship and exhibitions, call Miss Helen or Mr. Mike Selunkuma on 0774 992 514.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV is brought to you by Plascon, color your world. About red, about blue, it's your turn to shine in Plascon Paint and win the 12K edition. Buy Plascon Paint worth 100K, get a scratch card and SMS the code to 7197. Not only will you win instant airtime, but you could take home 1 million shillings daily, a share of 4 million shillings each week, or a brand new motorbike with fuel worth 100K. Tune in every Sunday at 6:55 p.m. on NBS, Bukede TV or Sanyuka TV to catch all the colorful action. Terms and conditions apply. Plascon, color your world.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Brigadier General Charles Kisembo. I am the Director, National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi. This evening, I'm here to take you through our journey as a National Leadership Institute that we have traversed right from its inception, where we are today, and where we want to go. I want to give you a brief background of this institute. This institute formally started in 1985 when the National Resistance Army, National Resistance Movement shifted from the Luero Triangle to the western part of Uganda. So the first formal political education institute was formed at Mugusu. And the purpose was to sensitize and educate Ugandans about their social, political, and economic realities. After the fall of Kampala in 1996, the institute shifted to Namugongo. In the same year, it was relocated to Wakiso. And in 1987, it relocated to Chankwanzi, where it is today, and renamed National Leadership Institute. The vision was to become a national and international leadership center of excellence that produces knowledgeable and visionary leaders committed to Uganda's socio-economic transformation. Our mission was to facilitate and still is to facilitate the development of qualitative leadership that acts as primers and drivers of Uganda's socio-economic transformation. What were the aims? The aims, one, to enable participants transform themselves, their environment, their society, and their country. Two, to equip the participants with tools of analysis for objective approach to issues, so that they are able to give correct prescriptions to the challenges that confront our society. Three, to enable the participants understand the process of transformation of society. What were the objectives? At the end of the course, the participants should have achieved the following: one, ideological clarity, patriotism and Pan-Africanism, improved leadership ability, improved communication skills, improved individual life skills, financial literacy, public health, HIV and AIDS, entrepreneurial skills. And what has been or is still the content of this course? First of all, Uganda's ideology. What is Uganda's ideology? Ideology that can transform this society, that can give the Ugandan people a correct mindset for them to correctly analyze Uganda's socio-economic and political challenges. So we aim at creating a positive mindset that can help Ugandans understand themselves, discover their potential, and then apply that to the transformation of their country. And then we also take our trainees through Uganda's history, pre-colonial history. What was the situation? Colonial history and post-colonial history. What went wrong with our history? That is why our national constitution, the preamble begins away of our history. That means our history has not been good. Therefore, we need leaders to understand our history and how that history informs our present and how it speaks to the future. Then we also teach about socio-economic transformation. Socio-economic transformation aspects about societal development. How has society developed? Is it by divine inspiration? Is it by the hand of God that society has developed right from the period of primitive communalism up to capitalism? Or there are laws that govern the development of society, and as leaders we need to understand these laws. Then we also look at the issues to do with globalization, and how does globalization affect national security? How does it affect national security, globalization? Then we look also at issues to do with the leadership philosophy. What kind of leadership philosophy? Ideology and leadership philosophy. What kind of philosophy do we need to have as leaders? Because the philosophy is not about to look and interpret the world. We must have a mind and an understanding that aims to transform our world in which we live. And then we also look at issues, things like personal empowerment skills. We don't aim at simply ideology. It's not the only thing. We also look at the practical aspect, because this ideology, this theory we give, must inform the practice. How is it going to benefit the people of Uganda when we are talking about socio-economic transformation? So we also give them skills, knowledge that can help improve their earning, the skills that can help them go out there and also positively compete with the rest of society to create jobs. And we normally invite many stakeholders here to come and take our trainees through such. For example, financial literacy issues, saving. We do some outdoor activities like moving out to see what others have done, and what lessons can we draw from those that have been successful, especially in the economic and agricultural sense, so that these people can move out and be positive. That is when I think the theory, the ideology we teach can be positive. Then we also look at issues to do with our economic geography. to do with issues of economic geography. You know, we are Ugandans, we live in Uganda, but we don't know, you know, our country, what potential resource our country has. We don't know what it is. And therefore, how can we say we are patriots, that we aim at transforming Uganda's socio-economic transformation when we don't know Uganda's geography? Then we also look at issues to do with, we also teach Swahili. Swahili now is a language for the East African region. And when we are talking about integration, then definitely the issue of Swahili comes to hand. And for us, we have put emphasis on Swahili here, because as we integrate, our people will be out there trading, you know, looking for markets. How do you relate with the rest of the neighbors when we don't know Swahili? So it is very, very important, and we always emphasize it, that leaders and those who are online to transform Uganda, online to enhance regional integration, should be conversant with the Swahili. There are other activities that we conduct here, like a physical fitness, self-defense, because we believe in creating a healthy body. You have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind. And we cannot talk about transforming Uganda and talk of Vision 2040 when we are sick, we have sick bodies. So we make sure our participants here go through exercises, go through drill. Of course, depending on your disposition, depending on your age. If you are, we don't normally subject old people here through some of these activities. But there are those activities which they can go through themselves. For example, jogging or walking. They are not compelled. There's no comparison, especially for old people. And what have we achieved? And first of all, as I said, it started in Mugusu. It did not start in flats. It did not start in flats. It did not start in fabulous structures. It started in Mama Ingia Pole. And I think you all know what I mean when I say Mama Ingia Pole. The same way when we entered Kampala, and in Namugongo, it was Mama Ingia Pole. Even here in Kyankwanzi in 1987, people would come here and then they wake up at 4:30. You go to fetch water for your breakfast at the dam. And after that, you go to look for grass to construct your Mama Ingia Pole. And then sit under the tree to study. Whenever it would rain, people would keep there, and it would rain on them. And that was the life. And people accepted it because they realized that there was need really to be serious, to understand what went wrong in this country. So the tree where most candidates used to sit was cut, but we want to retain that place as a historical point of reference to remember where we have come from. Now, you can see where we are. You can see where we are. We are now in fabulous buildings. You can see the accommodation blocks. People come here, there is hot water in the rooms where they sleep. We have radically changed this place. It is really an institute, and for me as a director here, I see that there is a ray of light at the end of the tunnel. This institute is developing. It might not be moving at a rate which we would want it to move. We know the reason, because it all have to do with the resources. And the National Leadership Institute Kyankwanzi is not the only one. So in the situation of competing demands and needs, we have to move at a pace that fits within our resource envelope. But I want to assure you that Kyankwanzi is moving forward. And recently we had foreign delegates coming to benchmark here at Kyankwanzi. And for me, I look at that as a very significant achievement. Actually, they said that they had Ghana and Kenya those two options, but they made an assessment and decided to come to Uganda because of what Uganda has achieved and because of its history and influence in the region. And they were impressed. The delegation came from Malawi and requested us to, at an appropriate time, to send them a team to go and help in the formation of their institute as well. We also had a team from Southern Sudan, their civil service members coming here to study. And we are expecting another batch to come. So for those who think that when you come to Chamkwanzi, they are teaching you the NRM ideology, I think they get it wrong. Because I don't think we teach the South Sudanese, the Malawians, how to love His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. We are here to discuss issues which we think affect us as a country, as a region. Because when I'm talking about Uganda, I'm also talking about the East African region. I'm not talking about the Great Africa, because the problems that confront us are more or less the same. Why has the region remained behind? Why has Uganda remained behind? Why has Africa remained behind? So these are the issues. We come to realize that we all have a common denominator, and that lies in the lack of a serious and positive leadership and the lack of ideology, obviously.
The Journey program on UBC TV. Come and shine in Plascon Paint and Win, the Twake edition. Buy Plascon Paint worth 100,000 shillings. Get a scratch card and SMS the code to 7197. Not only will you win instant airtime, but you could take home 1 million shillings daily, a share of 4 million shillings each week, or a brand new motorbike with fuel worth 100,000 shillings. Terms and conditions apply. Plascon, color your world. The Journey program on UBC TV.
We are trying to come up with a system where we can regularly follow up our students who come from here and go back to their places of work, so that we are able to assess ourselves here also. But in most cases, they tell us that we benefited greatly from your courses. And I have heard such a testimonies, for example, from the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, from the executive, the Commissioner, Uganda Revenue Authority, Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. And as I talk now, I've just received a communication from Uganda Communications Commission, wanting to bring a team here. And previously they had brought other members here to study. So really, if Chamkwanzi was just doing nothing, I don't think those people would really give such a compliment or want to bring their people here. Challenges, yes, we have challenges, obviously. Challenges, we have a problem of space, because now we are beginning to see quite a lot of need to train Ugandans. Different ministries, departments, and agencies are really hankering after this place. One time we had over 700 people, and we found that the accommodation facilities we have here are not enough to accommodate such a number. So we really need additional accommodation blocks. We need an additional auditorium or lecture rooms, so that we are able to conduct courses concurrently. So that is in one area. And two, we also need resources, obviously. Resources to maintain this place, to put it to the state of the art. Resources to rehabilitate some of the infrastructure that is here, so that the infrastructure can match the standards we desire for our people. Challenges, yes, we still have people out there who seem not to appreciate what this institute really is, and its role in Uganda's socio-economic transformation. And therefore, they don't seem to give it the credence and support it really requires. The other day I was proposing that it would be very important for the members of opposition also to come and see what is taught here. And if some of them have got really something positive that they want to add to the image of this institute, they are welcome. They are free because this is a National Leadership Institute. We're now in the process of reviewing our curriculum so that it can match the changing dynamics, both nationally and regionally, where we begin experiencing pressures, where we begin receiving course participants from outside there. I think we need also to refocus ourselves and see how this curriculum can address, regional challenges. We are talking about, can we have these certificates we give here accredited with the Ministry of Education, so that somebody getting out of this place, depending on the duration, how many months you have stayed here, and with that certificate, where does it fall within the national, and I had a discussion with the Minister for Higher Education when he was here, and he said we need to study, maybe to come up with a training policy that can take care, of some of these concerns. Of course, we had challenges of COVID-19, and as you can see, we have a structure here, the second auditorium, which was started by the UNRWA alumni. Now, these UNRWA alumni contributed significantly and wanted to leave an impression. But when the COVID pandemic came in, and it disorganized everything, and that caused a problem, especially delay in the construction of that building, and some of them, of course, found themselves in other dimensions of life. So that was a challenge. Then, as an institution here also, we had a challenge as a result of COVID. I remember we are supposed to have a caucus, NRM caucus here, a cabinet retreat here. We prepared everything. On the eve at 8, we got a presidential directive that the cabinet retreat had been cancelled. You can see how really COVID worked on us, and so all those items we had bought for the retreat had to be consumed, and that was a loss, obviously, in terms of resources, because that was not anticipated. In terms of future plans, yes, we have future plans. One, we are working on a 5-year development plan. We are working on a 5-year development plan, and we want to share it with the Ministry for the Presidency and the Ministry of Finance, because we realize that that is the only way how we can attract support. Because once you have something that you can really present, then people will think you are really serious, and I think they will be able to support us. So in those 5 years development plan, we intend to work on the auditorium that is not completed. We also intend to work on our hospital. We are so grateful to the Ministry of Health. They have upgraded our health facility from Health Center 2 to Health Center 3. And funds are already allocated. So we are at the planning period with the district leadership, and I'm very sure the health lives of our women and children and the community at large will be improved. We are also planning to have an aqua park. We have somebody here who is helping us to have an aqua park here so that we can transform it into a kind of a tourist center. We have constructing 5 ponds and then 100 by 100 water reservoir, which is going to be used as an entertainment center and also to feed into the ponds. People can go and do boat cruising, go and have grilled fish there, and also contribute something. Normally we have activities like cultural nights. Instead of doing them in the school, we can go and do them there and relax. And after all, why do we have to get fish from Entebbe or from Hoima when we can get it here? And the dams that we have had for very many years here have never dried. So that means there is water. We only need to see how best we can utilize it. And we're also planning, we already have a plan to accommodate officers' accommodation. And God willing, this year we shall start on it slowly by slowly and see that we complete it so that our officers can really have a good environment. Then we are also planning to expand our agriculture. We are planting and we are beginning to see the fruits. We entered a partnership with Maif. They gave us a tractor. Now we are clearing land. The other time we harvested and we are feeding on our own maize. So that money we get, we can inject it in some other activities, like in our canteen, rehabilitating some of the houses here, because the money we get at times may not be enough to see us through. There have been cases where some sections of our society associate Kyankwanzi with the NRM leadership, Museveni. But I want to clear the impression that true, the National Leadership Institute Kyankwanzi was started by the National Resistance Movement. That is a historical fact. And when it was started by the National Resistance Movement, the aim was not to serve Museveni's interests. It was to serve the country's interests. That's why I'm saying in the core objectives was to conscientize and educate Ugandans on the economic, social, and the political realities. Because there was a problem in the history of this country. Museveni will go, this institute will remain. And it is articulated for in the national constitution. So to attribute it to Museveni or to the national resistance movement is to forget historical facts. Because the roads that the NRM government has put in place, the universities that the NRM has constructed, will remain, even when the NRM is not in power. But are they not benefiting Ugandans? And I have not seen any member of opposition saying, I'm not taking my children to this university, or I'm not driving on this road because it was constructed by Museveni. And as I said, that when people come here, they are not taught how to love the NRM or how to love Museveni. We're here to discuss core issues that can catapult our country to greater heights that can help us as a region. How we do selection of the course participants? For us, we don't do selection of course participants. It's ministries, government departments and agencies rate to us. They just rate to us. Even as I speak now, we have lined up activities up to December. And as I was telling you, they have just written to us that we plan for Feb and March, Uganda Communications Commission. So they rate to us. For us, we don't do selection. Anyone who would want to come here, just let us know. Then you'll have a place. Now, when we're here, it was brought about that Kyankwanzi needs to benefit the rest of the Ugandan society. Because as you have heard, bringing here CEOs, members of other agencies, what impact are we creating if we are aiming at having drivers who can cause, Uganda's rapid socio-economic transformation? So we said we need to decentralize. And we started saying that those leaders, because we have had LOC5s coming here, LOC3s coming here, councillors coming here, religious leaders coming here. Now, all these are leaders in their respective areas. Why can't they translate the knowledge they have acquired here to their communities where they live? I would expect if you are a church leader and you have come here, that would be the first thing to communicate to your congregation. If you are an LOC5, that would be the first thing. You don't wait for somebody to come and do it for you. But we as an institute here, working in collaboration with the Patriotism Commission, we have decided to go up country. As I talk now, we're in Fort Portal. We covered a number of schools in Kamwenge district, and we're also planning to go to other areas in Uganda, because people have found that it is much cheaper than bringing people from up country to come and attend at the Kyankwanzi. I want to take this opportunity and singular honor to thank His Excellency the President for coming up with the idea of such a nature, because I remember in 1980 when he proposed that political education be established in the army, the opposed elements accused him of trying to introduce politics in the army, when actually he was trying to educate the army, because much of Uganda's problems had been created by the army. So I thank him for his wise leadership, his vision, that has led to the establishment of this institute. And I also thank him for the support that he has rendered us to see that this institute has reached where it is, and he has passion for this place. I also thank the Minister for the Presidency. She has been so supportive. Whenever we need advice, whenever we need support in terms of finance, they listen to us and they support us. So we are so grateful. I'm also grateful to our partners. We have our partners like the Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, we have Uganda Communications Commission, very many agencies and departments that have really stood with us. For example, the internet we are using here was donated by URA. The smart boards that we have, URA. You know, Uganda Communications Commission have supported us with the ICT laboratories, with the solar panels, and you know, we are so grateful for those partners. And lastly but not least, I'm so grateful to UBC that have really enabled us to share our historical journey as National Leadership Institute Jankwanzi. We want to thank you so much, and you have been partners with us. Wherever we have been having UBC airing most of our programs. We are so grateful, and I pray that this partnership continues. For God and my country, Aluta continua.
The Journey program on UBC TV was brought to you by Plascon, Color Your World.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.